Good evening. Making the headlines on Mello TV Evening News. Joint St. James Police military operation results in the confiscation of 3 rifles, 1 handgun, and a variety of ammunition. Transport Minister demands a thorough investigation into the temporary closure of the Sangster International Airport in St. James. And NWA urges patience from commuters and stakeholders during the S-CHIP program. And now the details. The ongoing successful operations led by the JCF have yielded positive outcomes yet again. A recent combined effort between the St. James Police and the military resulted in the confiscation of 3 rifles, 1 handgun, and a variety of ammunition yesterday, August 10. Superintendent of Police Aaron Samuels, who is in charge of the St. James Division, explains that these efforts are focused on locating individuals with active warrants.
All right, since Tuesday, we launched a 14-day surge operation, which would see us conducting numerous targeted operations across the entire St. James Division. This morning, we conducted one such in the Salt Spring community. We targeted one of our wanted persons, Ziggy, Robert Calvert, OC Ziggy, who is wanted for shooting with intent at the police. This operation went extremely well. Whilst we did not capture the wanted person, we were able to disarm him of 4 weapons, which includes 3 rifles and 1 handgun. One of the 3 rifles is said to be a multi-caliber weapon, which means it can fire almost any type of round that they have on hand. So it was very successful. I believe that it puts into focus what we intend to do, which is to capture wanted persons, disarm them of weapons, bring some peace and security to the area. The area in question where we conducted this operation, Salt Spring, is one that we have over the years been doing a lot of work. There are several gangs that operate within that space, and this one, which is led by Robert Calvert, OC Ziggy, is one that has in recent time been they have been causing some havoc within the space. So we are very elated that we are able to disarm them of these weapons.
In other news tonight, Transport Minister Darrell Vaz has demanded a thorough investigation into the recent temporary closure of the Sangster International Airport in St. James. This led to flights being redirected to the Norman Manley International Airport in Kingston. Dissatisfied with the situation, Minister Vaz instructed relevant authorities to provide detailed reports on the August 10 events that caused flight delays and cancellations. He emphasized that a comprehensive inquiry will take place to prevent such incidents from reoccurring. The closure was due to bad weather, affecting ongoing upgrades and equipment issues. The Ministry of Science, Energy, Telecommunications and Transport coordinated a swift response involving multiple agencies, including PICA, JCA and JCF. PICA provided extra staff to aid passengers, redirected to NMIA, and facilitated smooth transfers to Montego Bay. Sangster International Airport has since reopened since the incident. Authorities in St. Catharines, specifically the Old Harbour Police, are currently on the lookout for an individual responsible for a fatal shooting that occurred near the police station yesterday. The victim, identified as Carol Plummer, aged 31 and employed as a laborer from Bannister Housing Scheme in Old Harbour, tragically lost his life in the incident. Reports indicate that at around 6:40 p.m., Plummer was walking along the roadway during his walk near Darlington Drive's Clock area. An unidentified man then approached him. This individual wielded a handgun and proceeded to shoot Plummer in the upper part of his body. After committing the act, the assailant fled the scene on foot, disappearing into the surrounding vicinity. Plumber, wounded from the attack, was immediately transported to the Spanish Town General Hospital for medical attention. Despite efforts to save him, he sadly succumbed to his injuries. SSP Winston Milton, who holds the position of commanding officer for Trelawney, has introduced fresh directives aimed at enhancing efforts to prosecute cases related to lotto scamming in the future.
We have had a consultation with personnel from the DPP office, and since then we have, looked at a particular course of action that we can take to advance lottery scamming cases in the court in the future, and this direction we intend to pursue. So I wish to, assure the law-abiding citizens here in Trelawney that we are on top of these illicit activities. And this is really not a victory for persons who are involved in these illicit activities, but we are still pursuing these individuals because we recognize the threat that this poses to the parish. Well, we have had some successful prosecutions in the last circuit. Unfortunately, those that were fell through were far outweighed number of prosecution. And we understand the reason for that. And as I said before, we are treating with that.
Mr. Minot revealed concerning data indicating a doubling of sexual offences since the start of the year within the parish.
We also have a problem with sexual offences in the parish. There is a significant increase. As a matter of fact, there is a 100% increase in the number of sexual offences in the parish since year start. At this juncture last year, we were at 8 incidents of rape recorded. At this point, we are at 16. However, we have been able to successfully clear up these incidents because the perpetrators are usually known to the victims. They are either relatives of the victims or close, trusted friends of the victims. And in most instances, the perpetrators are very young persons. So with the summer holiday on, we are appealing to parents and guardians to ensure that you leave your child or wards in the custody of persons who you can trust. Ensure that you take the requisite step to ensure that they are not violated by individuals who are sexual deviants. And usually these individuals display some signs that you can see to point you in the direction that they have this kind of dysfunctional issue. Additionally, I would encourage parents and guardians to listen to your children when they are speaking to you about the conduct of adults, that is really not in line with the norm. Do not shun them. Listen to what they have to say and investigate it. Because in most instances, they're afraid to go to the adults because the adults are usually not willing to listen.
Still tonight, in an effort to monitor the ongoing developments at the Cornwall Regional Hospital, Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton conducted a visit to the facility today. Minister Tufton expressed that the project is entering its final stages.
Cornwall Regional Hospital, where I looked at the A&E and the repurposing of the accident and emergency, which is the original Mount Salem Clinic, which, as you know, was converted when the main building went down. But what is different this time around is that because of COVID, we had the waiting areas under a tent on the outside, which was not very comfortable. I'm happy to report that the COVID numbers have declined substantially, and we have then relocated the patients back in the main area that was constructed for A&E, for waiting. It's a much more comfortable environment. I mean, it's air conditioned. The staff is a lot more comfortable. It has nice seating areas. It has bathroom facilities and so on. So while people still have to wait, as is the case in all A&E, they can wait in a more comfortable setting. So it's something that I think we're happy for. I'm happy for the staff. I'm happy for the people who are using it. Suffice to say that we are now entering the final phase of Cornwall, which is now to put in the internals, which is the ward space, the operating theatre. We're going to build out a new A&E so Mount Salem can be restored, and I could go on and on. So we're at the home stretch. Still a long stretch, it's not a sprint. Still a lot of possible slip between the cup and the lip. So management is important, construction management, project management. We have to continue to monitor carefully, but we will get to a point shortly when things will become a lot more obvious in terms of the completion of the process. So
Minister Tufton emphasized that despite facing several months of delay, the project is steadily advancing.
of course, we are here at Western Children's site just to get an update. And as you can see, the building is going up very, very fast. They're now on the 8th floor. The front area the frame is built out. They are now putting in steel works for the accommodation area. So things are going. Maybe a few months behind, but it's going well. There's a lot of progress that is being made, and that's a very positive thing. When this is completed, it will boast 250 beds, operating theaters, waiting area, accommodation. It will be a very modern facility with all new equipment. So again, good things are happening in St. James as it relates to the public health and the infrastructure here.
Amid a review of the Vector Index, the Health and Wellness Minister issued a cautionary advisory regarding dengue prevention.
We are seeing some concerning signs around vector-borne diseases, and dengue in particular. We have been doing some tests and some assessment of vector index to look at the mosquito population. We have also been testing persons who are suspected as having dengue and to determine the type of dengue that they have. We're collaborating with CARFA, and there are some concerns that are emerging. I am awaiting some additional tests to comment publicly, and of course to brief the Honorable Prime Minister and the Cabinet on what the experts are saying. But I would issue a word of caution, maybe warning, to the populace to be mindful of the dengue threat, of the mosquito population, to take the necessary precautions around protecting themselves and their householders, which is to destroy breeding sites, which is the tires, the tin cans, the drums that need to be covered. Because what happens is that in the drought, people store water. And if you don't store properly, then it creates a breeding site. During the rain, water stores naturally. And if you don't manage that, then it becomes a breeding site. And we have been having a drought, and that has given rise to an increase in vector activity, mosquito activity. And the Aedes aegypti, of course, is a carrier for dengue.
The National Works Agency, NWA, is urging patience from commuters and stakeholders during the Southern Coastal Highway Improvement Program, SCHIP. Despite challenges posed by construction in populated areas, NWA is determined to achieve its goal of creating 4 lanes from Harborview to Yallus by the end of August. This comprehensive project includes not only road enhancements but also improvements to water, sewer drainage, and fiber cable systems, presenting unique challenges. NWA is working closely with partners and utility companies to ensure smooth utility installation and relocation. Recognizing the importance of maintaining access and services, NWA is collaborating with local communities and businesses to minimize disruptions. The program's primary goal is to enhance the Southern Coastal main roads alignment and capacity. NWA's commitment remains strong in completing the project efficiently while emphasizing effectiveness. During the Westmoreland Municipal Corporation's meeting held yesterday, Councillor Garfield James raised a pressing issue regarding the increasing problem of stray cows leading to fatal accidents along the roadways. He inquired about the measures being implemented by the municipal corporation to tackle this matter.
It cannot be, Chairman, that we have a municipal space that we are responsible for and we are not aggressively pursuing measures to actually facilitate the motor in public, the pedestrians, and those who utilize the major thoroughfare. And persons are losing their lives. We know it's a major issue as it relates to stray animals, but we want to know what is the corporation doing in terms of regularizing or putting in place a pound so that these animals can be picked up and make the roadway safe for users. It's a very critical matter to be looked at, and it's something that we need to expedite.
And now for a Mello TV News update on the tragic killing of 8-year-old Daniel Rowe. The police have reported that a female individual who is considered a person of interest in connection with her death was apprehended and taken into police custody today. Daniel was murdered on Thursday, June 8, 2023. DCP Fitz Bailey says police investigations are ongoing.
As the police continues its investigation into the horrific and brutal murder of the late Daniel Rowe, 8 years old, which took place on Thursday, the 8th of June 2023, we can now report that a female person of interest was taken into custody today, the 11th August 2023, at about 2:30 p.m. The person was picked up somewhere in the corporate area. We are unable to give any further information regarding the identity of the person of interest due to administrative and legal procedure. Further information will be made available as soon as those proceedings are completed.
And that's our news package for you tonight. Thank you for tuning in to Mello TV Evening News at 8. I am Shelley Hill. Do stay safe, pleasant viewing, and thank you for watching.